Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Leslie with What Leslie Loves, and in today's video we are talking all about the beautiful DeMellier London Vancouver. Now before I get started, as you get through this video, if you like what you see, please do give this video a like, and I do kindly ask for you to subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos. It does give me that little nudge to continue doing what I do. Let me go ahead and get started. All right, so I did a first impressions and unboxing of this along with the DeMellier London New York midi. I was a naughty girl, fully admit that, but I fully prepared to take advantage of some Black Friday deals, and I'm really glad that I did, because this silhouette, although you can kind of find it on the pre-loved market quite often, I felt like it was very critical for me to get it specifically from DeMellier London. In my research, and why I ended up adding this cutie in addition to the New York midi was because obviously the leather, the quality, but I really loved the story behind the company. And I'll let you kind of go on their website and check that out for yourself. But I also really appreciated that it said it had lifetime repairs. That's pretty huge for a company to do that, because I'm pretty sure it's very annoying, but that tells me that they're standing by their product. Now, I will say, upon kind of going through this bag, unfortunately with this one in particular, it does, I'll be honest, and I'm going to start off with the bad right away and address the elephant in the room. It does have some glazing issues. It kind of bugs me in one specific area, and you'll see that when I get into the what fits inside portion of this video. However, I'm immensely impressed by this, because I was fully prepared, I'll be honest, to send this one back, and I might be keeping both. Anyhow, I think that this bag is such a cutie, and I was a little conflicted on what color to get this bag in. And in my mind, when I got the New York midi and this one, yes, they're both in the same color. This is in the tan. I thought I'm only going to keep one of them, but I don't know. Help me, you guys. Watch the comparison. Let me know. Do I keep both of these? Should I be a bag hoarder? Anyhow, I really just thought, you know what, I'm going to go with my instincts, and I'm not going to be adventurous. I'm going to be boring, and that's okay, because I've realized I know what works for me and in my wardrobe and what I'm going to reach for. And we all know What Leslie Loves does not like to keep bags that they don't only need to be bags that I love looking at, but I want to be able to use them. So all that said, I struggled with color for a moment, and then I was like, you know what? No, I already know that this bag leans on the more formal side in terms of its look because of this closure here. I decided to go with one of these that has the contrast stitching. I didn't make up my mind quick enough to get the black one, because I was torn between this tan color or the black. But my friend Jessie with Jessie in the Bags pointed out that one of the things that I already didn't like initially when I first unboxed it was the hardware, and she made such a valid point that because of the black with the contrast stitching, that hardware probably was going to pop even more, and that is not the vibe I was looking for. So I specifically went with this tan with contrast stitching because I felt like it gave it that slightly more casual vibe, and I felt like that would work a lot better with my wardrobe. So really, I have no regrets. I think this was the right color choice for me. That said, let me do a quick cutaway and show you what fits inside this little cutie. All right, so here we are in the what fits inside portion of this video, and I haven't taken off any of the little stickers, so this is not scratched, at least I don't think it is, but that's kind of what you're seeing there. I really still feel a little uncertain about this. I know some people really love this detail on this bag. I never was a fan, and I thought, okay, let me see it in person, and you can see it's a little too gold for me, and I wear gold jewelry, but nonetheless, the rest of this bag, the stitching is absolutely impeccable. And I'm showing you a little bit more of a detailed view here, just because this is a smaller bag, so I feel like I have the bandwidth to kind of show you everything You have that detail there. I do really love when you can do that to the bag. I think that'll make it so comfortable to carry top handle. And one little gripe that I do have on this particular one is the glazing. I think this glazing issue kind of happens with a lot of bags. It's not terrible here, where you can kind of see where the two pieces of leather are bound together there. I like it when you don't see this detail because I like it that way. And I feel like I don't necessarily think that it's good to gunk it up with too much glazing, particularly because it has to go through these grommets of sorts, and it's going to get a lot of wear and tear because this strap is meant to kind of shift around. However, I do feel like I question the integrity of the glazing over time. So in particular, there were these parts here that were very much curled because of how the bag was stored, and I feel like if I can figure out where I'm supposed to go, right in here, it's just already bent up, and maybe I'm just paranoid, but I guess I'm not just paranoid. From experience, these tend to be the areas where the glazing will start kind of lifting and peeling first. I don't want to mess with it too much because, again, much like the New York, at this point of the video, I'm a little uncertain about this, and I'm fairly certain this one is going to go back, but I'm going to give myself some time to think on it. However, you do have some nice adjustments here. So it's currently have one more to go this way and a few this way. But one thing I really, really love is the leather quality. It definitely feels really nice. I was a little worried that I wasn't gonna like it, but as soon as I opened this up, it felt very Pochette Métis, and it doesn't have a back pocket like the Pochette Métis, and that's probably what held me off from purchasing it for as long as I have. Let me go ahead and open it. So to open the bag, you have that little push button closure, and it's super consistent. It works really, really nicely. And I am a little, the hardware, I'm pretty certain that the hardware is going to get pretty messed up, but it seems very sturdy. So those I will chalk as character marks, but again, I feel like that mechanism is pretty nice. And inside the bag, you have this compartment here and this compartment here. Now let me bring my items here to show you what fits inside. I packed this beauty up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pack this up. But again, let me just point out the glazing in these areas. That's probably what bugs me the most in this bag. Like, this is definitely gonna crack in here. And so that's the biggest knock, to be honest. But for this portion, let me show you what fits inside. Does an iPad mini fit? And the answer is yes. In fact, I think it even fits in this pocket. No. Nope. And it would need to go here. So if you have a Kindle or e-reader of some sort, that does fit. And this is why I love the Mina Bay wallet or something like it, just very slim, because it's not taking up space in your bag. This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max case. I've seen most people put their phone in this pocket, and I like the idea of that, just so that when it's sitting against the body and you go to open it, let me just kind of go and close it. You see what I mean? You could just lift the flap and quickly pull your phone out. So let me turn it back around this way. Honestly, you guys, the glazing is what gets me the most on this bag. I probably would have kept it had it not been for that. Now, you're not gonna fit 1,000,001 car keys. I feel like this is a one and done, and I probably would say that you might be better suited with something like a Rosalie wallet. Time out, let me go grab that. So I think this is one of those bags that it's better suited to have these kinds of items that are a little bit thinner so that you can put them in standing up. So this is the Rosalie coin purse. I don't have it packed in, but it's a really good wallet because everything that fits in here, believe it or not. So I'd put that there, and let's pretend I have some other goodies because my Kipling with everything in it, there's no way. But if I parse down and put everything into a small little pouch, that fits there. All right, you can never do enough prep because I'm realizing I probably could have brought in my Dress Up Your Purse mini M case. In fact, I'm gonna just put this into here just to kind of pretend it's full of stuff. And let me put that in there. Yep. Really nice. And I probably would prioritize over anything else my pill case over here on top of my key there. I feel like I could fit my wipes, or I could fit my, nope, that's a little too big. I think that's about it. So it has a little bit smaller capacity than I thought in a way, but let me play around. That stuck to that. Let me play around with this a little more. Let's see, what if I did that? Because I'm not carrying my iPad with me. Let's be real. So we have that. Oh yeah, this is more than enough. If you don't need your e-reader with you, you are good to go. So we put a hand cream. And remember, I kind of staged this such that you would have items in there. A lippy of some sort. What else? What else? What else? What else? My scissors. My Tide to Go stick. Okay, I'm lying. This has a little bit more capacity than I gave it credit for initially. If you're not carrying an iPad mini, you're good to go. And there you have it. All right, so now that we know what fits inside this cutie, let me kind of get into a little bit more details. I will say the leather on this it's chef's kiss. It's beautiful. And my first impression, and I didn't capture that on video, but when I first looked at this bag, it really reminded me of the Pochette Métis. Now I know I said I wasn't gonna super compare it to any specific bag, but that's the bag that instantly came to mind when I saw this. And I think that despite the fact that I have the Dress Up Your Purse Paris 15, and in my first impressions video, I kind of share those bags, and I'll showcase those in a little bit as I'm doing a quick comparison, but this really reminded me of that bag. The leather in particular, how this leather feels. It feels really sturdy, but it feels really soft. It smells beautiful. And I can't believe I didn't smell my DeMellier London tote, but maybe I don't need to look creepy in every single video. But that said, the leather and the construction of this bag is wonderful. The only knock that I'm gonna give this bag is on the glazing. I don't know if if it'll focus in, but right in here, I don't super love some of the glazing. The other area is probably on this top flap. And again, I know those kind of details are kind of hard to see. And much like the Pochette Métis, I'm pretty certain that these little corners are going to see some cracking. But if they stand by their lifetime repairs, I'll deal with it. So it does have this very similar to the S-lock closure of the Pochette Métis. This just kind of snaps into place, and you see this little toggle here? You just push that up, and that's what opens and closes the bag. Now this bag the hardware, although beautiful, and maybe some of you really love that shiny hardware, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm hoping it patinas and kind of mattifies, is that a word? It gets a little bit more matte over time, but this is it just really did give me Pochette Métis vibes right away. So let me, while I'm rambling on, put this bag on crossbody. I think that's where, because I was kind of on the fence as to whether or not I kept this bag or not. As soon as I put this bag on crossbody, I thought, this is it. It's the perfect little narrow bag, and I think it's a great date night bag. And for that, it gives that little extra pop when you're kind of trying to be formal, but not. So that's it crossbody. I guess some people showcase that you could wear this top handle if you wanted to. I don't know how you would do that without it like kind of feeding through. I haven't successfully done that, but I don't mind like how it pulls through. I think it looks super cute. It's really comfortable. And then lastly, I'll kind of do this, I was fumbling with it in another video, but lastly, I really like that if you pull these together like this, and you do a better job than I'm doing right now, you can carry this bag shoulder carry. And I'm not a shoulder carry person, but this bag, my hair is getting in the way. This bag, it stays put. I have some stuff in there, that's why you hear a little bit of shaking and rattling. It's super comfortable. And I have been on the hunt for a long time for that perfect cognac shade. And it's tough for me because I'm more olive skin tone, and so I feel like certain cognacs, like Polen's cognac color, that's the name of that shade, it pulls a little too gray tone on me and it looks too ashy. This is that perfect blend of warmth, but not too orange. And I love the color. I think the color is just precisely what I've been looking for. So I wanted to quickly showcase this bag in action. So I really like the opening and closing mechanism. Now I'm sure it's gonna give me a little bit of trouble to close it, but no, not really. I feel like you'd get used to the opening and closing, but why I really like this front pocket is I can quickly just grab my phone and then I can quickly put it right back into that pocket. So I intend on having my phone in this pocket and everything else in this pocket. And again, so let me kind of show that to you again. I'm paying at the checkout, putting my phone back, I took a cute picture, and we're done. As I'm standing here looking at all of these, I am probably going to have to make some hard decisions because I can't keep them all. I don't want to keep them all, but I thought this was a great time while I had all of these beauties to kind of show the differences. So I have another one hanging here, but this is the Polen Numero 8, and this is a forever bag for me. I love this. This kind of totally took me by surprise how much I like this bag, but it carries more than the Vancouver for sure, but let me set her down. All right, so obviously this is not the same capacity, but I also thought to bring this over here because this is also the DeMellier London, New York midi in the same tan color, so they look identical. This probably just looks a little lighter because of the positioning of my lights. So I'm gonna take this one out of the frame for the sake of not looking like a hoarder. Time out. All right, so again, I'm gonna kind of go through these. I have done a quick comparison of these in my first impressions video, so if this is a little bit of a repeat, I'm sorry. So we have the DeMellier London Vancouver in tan. We have the Polen Numero 10 in camel. We have the Parisa Wang Medium Madison in chestnut. The Dress Up Your Purse pair is 15. I'm not finding the color anywhere, but this is either the brown or the cognac. Don't quote me on that. I do have an affiliate link for these. This is a wonderful, wonderful alternative to the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. It's what keeps me away and keeps me at bay from not buying that bag again, because I don't need to do that. And lastly, this is the Kai Icon in cognac. This is the only bag that has the name cognac. I think chestnut does fit this one really well. Tan doesn't fit this, and camel, anyway, I'm not here to critique the names that they chose for the colors, but clearly I have found the color that works well for me. I thought that I loved black handbags, and I still do, and I always will, but I think cognac bags fit me just perfectly. So looking at the range of these, there are some overlaps for me, which is why I said I'm gonna have to make some hard decisions. But this one is definitely the most, I think leans the most formal. I would say this one leans slightly more formal as well, but it really does look good paired casually. This bag is kind of like a fantasy self bag for me because I really love how this looks with a pair of slacks, like loose trousers and a chunky sweater and sneakers. I don't dress that way. Why do I do that? So that's why I struggle to justify keeping this one as well, just because that's a fantasy self. However, this does work in my wardrobe. Of course, you have the more smile satchel hobo style bag with the Polène numero 10. This one definitely gives me Louis Vuitton Capucine vibes and the Dior Diane bag. Obviously, this is probably the most similar to the Vancouver, being that it's, you know, a little bit more of a rectangular shape. However, I feel like the color of all of these is the most orange, so I feel like it leans like the most warm tone, this one and the Paris Wing. And then this reminds me very much of the Loewe puzzle bag. However, I think this is probably the most neutral brown of the browns I have sitting here, just because it does ebb and flow really well. This is the only bag of all of these that I have that has silver hardware. And so I feel like, despite the fact that I have the twilly on this, this is probably the most casual, just because although this one tends to lean, this hobo style tends to lean a bit more casual, I feel like this pairs with my dresses really well. So hopefully this little color range gives you a good comparison. These two over here are the only ones with back pockets, and we know that that's kind of my shtick. I really like having a back pocket. These three do not have a back pocket, but I find that the front pocket on this works really well for me. The most restrictive of all of these is the Polène numero 10, just because obviously the style kind of limits how much you can put in. So I do appreciate that the Vancouver can fit just that little bit more. However, these three over here, the Paris Wing, the Dress Up Your Purse, and the Kai, have better capacity. I'd probably say that all three of these have a very similar capacity, and these two have a very similar capacity. If I haven't covered anything, because I'm sure I'm missing something, I'm sure editing Leslie will be like, dude, you totally forgot. Oh, I did forget something. Leather types. This is a smooth leather. This is a very soft pebbled leather, so I do feel like you need to kind of be careful with this, because this most closely compares to Togo leather, and it is called Togo leather on their website. This is probably the most textured of the bags, but it still feels really soft and supple, and it smells great. And then this one, no, I lie. I think this, the Dice has the most textured leather. It feels the most plasticky. I don't want to put it that way, but you know what I mean. It feels the least like leather of all of these bags. And then this, of course, is a pebbled leather. I think of all these bags, I'm not saying this, I promise, just to justify keeping it, but I feel like this has the nicest leather of all of these. Probably close second is going to be the Dress Up Your Purse Togo leather, just because I'm very partial to it. But why this is getting the edge is there's a little bit of a slight coating on there that I know if I rub up against something, this is probably going to stand the test of time a little bit better, probably handle rain a little bit better. This one can. I'm just saying that this one can do it a little bit better. So, all right, I'm back. Can I get away with clutch carry on this? I think you can. I think it's pretty chic that you probably could. I'm being obnoxious, but I'm not. I do think it looks super cute. Like if you tuck it inside the bag, if you're not carrying a lot, super chic. Not my vibe, but if that's your aesthetic and you can rock it, girl, rock it. All that said, final thoughts on this. After putting everything inside and playing around with this bag a little bit more, getting to kind of, you know, back in the day when you used to play with your Barbies and you're dressing them, I feel like that's what I get to do when I do these comparisons, because I'm bringing all my beauties out and looking at all of them. This bag she's beautiful. I can really understand the hype behind it. And if you like this square silhouette and you don't want to spend the thousands on a Celine or on an Hermes, I can't remember the name of that bag for the life of me. I'll put it here. But anyway, I think this is such a great alternative. It does it so beautifully. I think it does this silhouette justice. And I'm so glad that I went with the pebbled leather, because personally I feel like the smooth leather is a little bit too formal. They have some croc options, they have some mock croc, they have this like lizard type. They did have it in a suede. I think they currently have this bag in this, it's slightly lighter than this color with suede. That looks beautiful, but it rains too much here. I'm not gonna get a suede bag. So they have a wonderful selection, all that to say, and I really think that you can't go wrong with picking this up. All that said, does What Leslie Loves love this bag? The answer is yes. And you know me, I can be a hater super quick, and I kind of did want to hate on this bag early on. I just think this is such a classic beauty and silhouette. You can find these on the pre-loved market. You can find them Neiman Marcus, Nordstrom. A lot of the department stores carry DeMellier London as well. I've never seen this bag in person, so I had to purchase it online and do the research for you guys, but you can find some good deals on this oftentimes. I'm glad that I got it on a Black Friday deal and was able to kind of get the full experience of getting it with DeMellier London. So if you have any other questions, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I do kindly ask that you subscribe. Again, it gives me that extra little push to keep letting you know what I love. Anyhow, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.